Hello and welcome to the 20th tutorial on how to program in Gscript2. So, I deleted all this code we did in the last tutorial, and I replaced it with two arrays, XX and YY, both with 100 variables in them. Now, when we're calling arrays, we can just put the name of the array, or XX, and put a number, like n, which would be the 11th variable, remember, because the variables start at 0 and go to whatever this is minus 1. So equals like 5. But there's another way to do it. Let's make a variable. Temp dot sumVar is equal to 1 or 10. We can replace 10 in the variable brackets with temp dot sumVar, or just sumVar, because temp variables don't require the beginning to be specified after they've been created. So anyway, let's create a for loop. Now this loop is going to create a variable called n, loop it until it reaches 100 or something greater than 99, which is 100, and then it's going to break. Now because we're working with arrays, we can't go to 100, because remember, the variables start at 1. The variables start at the value of like 0. I don't know if I'm confusing you, but the highest variable to like specify would be 99, because it starts at 0. It doesn't start at 1. It starts at 0. It creates 100 variables, but when you're calling them, you have to do whatever you want minus 1. Well, that's kind of confusing, but I think you'll get it. Anyway, let's add XX, n. We're taking this variable and putting it inside the brackets of the array to specify which variable in the array we want to change. Let's make them all equal to int random 0, 64. So we're gonna make XX each of the XX variables, because we're looping through all of them. We're gonna make each of them equal to a value between 0 and 64. Same with Y. Remember that every level has 64 tiles to the right and 64 tiles down, if we're taking it as the origin being the top left corner, which it is. Now let's call a function on timeout. We're going to make it so that it loops through this function and let's add another for loop. So let's add some things first. XX n equals XX n plus 0.2. Then YY n equals YY n plus 1. So we're gonna go into this for loop, and it's gonna loop through all the variables in the array and change them all by 0.1. Change all the variables in the array by whatever is here. So once that's changed, it's gonna loop back to the beginning of the function and change them again and again and again. And this will happen every 0.05 seconds, which is pretty quick. So let's add some more stuff. Right here, let's show an image. Show image 200 plus n. We don't want it to be under 200, because that'll be shown for everyone and it'll be laggy that way. Then let's go. Let's pick an image we want to use. Let's just use block.png, because I don't think I have a rain image. Well, I do, I just don't remember the name. But then let's add xx, n as the x coordinate, and yy, n as the y coordinate. Just watch what, no, wait, we want to add one more thing. I want to add if xx, no, actually, I'm going to add that after this. We're going to run. As you can see, all of them just keep going down. Each of these blocks is a different variable, well, two variables in the arrays. Each with an xx and a yy coordinate, and each of them is different, but they're all changing at the same rate. Let's add it so that they go back to the top after they reach the bottom. If xx n is less than, no, we want yn, not xx. Yn is greater than 64, which is the very bottom of the level, then we want it yy to reset. So let's add yy. Actually, we can just copy this here. We want the variable, or both variables, to reset and go back to a random point. Actually, no, we don't want yy to be anywhere. We want it to be at the very top. So let's add 0. And watch what happens. They keep coming down and then going back up. So that's pretty useful, and you can do a lot of things with arrays, such as particle effects, and among other things. Well, that concludes this tutorial, and I hope you have a better understanding of arrays. And we'll be sure to use them more later. So if you don't understand them, you can either go to the Graal forums and look for some examples, or go to the Graal wiki and Graal Gscript wiki and look at some things. I don't know, whatever can help you. But I'm gonna be using them more in the future, so you can wait for a tutorial like that to come out. But anyway, that's the end of this tutorial, and I'll see you later.